and why did you want to become mayor?
So what is your name?
Mile.
Mile. Well, I became the mayor in 1992 was when I first ran for election. And the mayor that was there before me was there for 28 years. And I served as the president of city council in 1989. And the previous mayor laid off a lot of police and firemen in a dispute about state aid. And I just thought there was a better way to do things without laying off police and firemen. And I thought there was more opportunity to bring in some jobs and economic development and create more fairness in the community. And that was probably the main reason I ran in 1992.
Okay, and what was the first thing you did when you became mayor?
Well, the first thing I did is find out where all the offices were. I didn't know where everything was. And as a matter of fact, this office was under renovation at that time. So I worked out of an office downstairs, which is the Director of Policy and Planning's office. And the first thing I did was go around to all of the different offices and meet all of the employees, introduce myself, tell them I had open office hours. If there was anything they wanted to talk to me about, they could just come in and talk to me about it. That was probably the very first thing we did.
Okay.
What is your educational background?
So what is your name?
Zamir.
How are you, Zamir?
Good.
Good. Well, I went to Blessed Sacrament Grammar School in Elizabeth, which is in the north end part of town up near the airport. And then I went to St. Mary's High School, which is right around the corner here from City Hall. And then after that, I went to Kane University, where I have an undergraduate degree in economics. And then I have a master's degree in public administration.
How does being mayor affect your everyday life?
It is. That is my everyday life, being the mayor. So every day I spend is something to do with being mayor, whether it's visiting a camp or meeting with seniors, going to a picnic in the summer, or spending time discussing the plans for a future building, or whatever. Every day is usually something to do with being the mayor.
Can you tell us about Hannah Caldwell?
What is your name?
Saif?
Saif. Hannah Caldwell was married to a guy named James Caldwell, and they were the pastors of the church on Broad Street, which is the first Presbyterian church of the city of Elizabeth. And Hannah Caldwell was shot by the British during the Revolutionary War, and her husband went to visit prisoners which were kept on the barge down at the foot of Elizabeth Avenue. And as he was leaving, after he was ministering to the prisoners, he was shot in the back. And the Caldwells had about 8 or 9 or 10 children. And the Caldwells' murdering by the British became a rallying cry for the revolutionaries who were fighting against the British crown. And it helped mobilize this area and bring people more to the cause of separation from Great Britain.
Do you really believe she really haunts the courthouse?
Well, that's a really good question. There was a whole documentary done on it. The county seal is a seal of her being shot in the window of her room over at Connecticut Farms. She was actually shot at Connecticut Farms in Union. And that's the county seal, believe it or not.
Hamilton attended the old academy, now Schneider Academy. Have you seen the play?
I did. What's your name?
I'm Nicholas.
Hey, Nicholas. I saw the play when it first came out. Actually, I saw the play 3 days before President Obama saw it. And it was a very, very moving play. And Hamilton did go to school here in the old academy, which is now called the Snyder Academy on Broad Street. And Aaron Burr also went to the same school. Aaron Burr and Alexander Hamilton were in a duel in 1803 or 1804 in Weehawken, New Jersey. And Aaron Burr killed Alexander Hamilton. But they did not go to school here at the same time, but they did attend school here in Elizabeth at different times.
How historically accurate is the play?
Well, as far as the play goes, the history of Alexander Hamilton, there's probably some liberties taking in the play. The history of his role as a Treasury Secretary, his history as a student is extremely accurate. There's also history of the Schuyler sisters and who he dated and when he lived at Liberty Hall. And I'm sure they've taken some liberty with a lot of the lines in that part of the play.
Did you enjoy the play?
The play was great. It was one of the best plays I've ever seen. It was tremendous, and I can understand why it's been sold out every single performance, and it's really difficult to get tickets for it.
Did you have any dreams of success in the arts?
No, I enjoy the arts as a patron. I enjoy plays, music, ensembles. Did I ever have a musical inclination or the ability to act? I've been in a few plays here as the mayor. When they had the playhouse over here in the church, I've substituted in, but my acting ability or my ability to perform in the arts is minimal.
Are there any art programs you helped install?
Well, I've worked with the Second Presbyterian and Restore Ministries, the Institute of Music, through our Community Development Block Grant funding. We've helped provide some funds to keep those programs afloat. And I've tried to attend the year-end celebrations. I go to the schools and see some of their plays and some of their performances. And it's always exciting to be a patron of the arts.
Have you helped any charities and nonprofit organizations?
Well, in the arts area, we've worked with Restore Ministries, we've worked with the Institute of Music. We've also worked with Raphael's Lifehouse, and Community Development Block Grant funding has helped us with a lot of charities. Josephine's Place, which deals with immigrant women, Raphael's Place, a lot of different charities and nonprofits that we work with here throughout the city.
Do you know when and how the city of Elizabeth was founded?
The city of Elizabeth was founded in 1664, is when it was first brought together as a city. It was named after Sir Philip Carteret's wife. His wife was Elizabeth. We were called Elizabethtown in 1664, which incorporated all of Union County, and even part of Newark. It was called Elizabethtown. The Westfield, which you've heard of that city, was originally the West Fields of Elizabethtown. And then around the 1800s, the town started to break off. And then in 1860, we had a major disagreement with Essex County, which we were part of at that time. And then we formed our own county called Union County. And it was over where the courthouse was going to be located. Newark wanted the courthouse, Elizabeth wanted the courthouse for the county. The county picked Newark to have the Essex County Courthouse in the center of town, and then so therefore Elizabeth became the center of town for a new county in about 1868 called Union County.
Did you feel connected to the city?
I was born and raised in this. What's your name?
Layla.
Hey, Lola. I was born and raised in this city, in North Avenue, so I've always been connected to the city. I was on the city council in 1982, and then I became the mayor in 1992. Went to school here, so I've always felt very connected to the city.
Did you connect with other mayors?
I'm very active with the U.S. Conference of Mayors, where I serve on the trustee board, and then there's a League of Municipalities in New Jersey, where all of the mayors are represented. I was the president of that organization in 2002, and still very active in the League of Municipalities. So being connected is with the people of Elizabeth, as well as with mayors from New Jersey and around the country, help make the job that much easier.
Thank you so much for your time.
I want to thank Restore Ministries for coming in here today. I had a lot of fun doing this with all of you guys. I hope we can do it again sometime.
Okay.